Okay, this video is a revision video on initiatives. And on the screen, you have got some examples of different initiatives, which I will explain as we go through the video. But let's start off by talking about what initiatives are. Initiatives are programs or organized activities programs is probably the best word, which help to increase participation levels in a sport or help to break down barriers in a sport. And these could be introduced by the national governing bodies of those sports, or they might be introduced by the government, or they might be introduced by organisations like Sport England. But generally, you'll find that these are initiatives that are put together by national governing bodies for sports. So with each of these, let's talk about whether it's about breaking down barriers or whether about it's increasing participation. So the first one is the Kick It Out campaign by the FA, the Football Association, and this is aimed at tackling all forms of discrimination, which would include racial discrimination as an example. It has been going for a long time, since 1983, and it's still going now, and it's had lots of players who have been the face of the campaigns, and the initiative has been very successful in raising awareness. This would obviously be breaking down barriers, because it would breaking down the barriers that different ethnic groups face when they take part in sport. Then moving down, we've got This Girl Can. And again, this has been an initiative which has been running for a long time. And I think it's probably run by Sport England. It's funded by the National Lottery. And yes, it's there. You see it's developed by Sport England. And the remit for this is to celebrate the active women in our society and to help promote other women taking part in sport as well. So it has had a lot of TV and social media campaigns. You can go onto YouTube and see some of these. And it's been quite successful in raising participation levels. So this isn't one for breaking down barriers. This is an example of a campaign to increase participation. Then we move on to Sports Relief, which takes place, I think, biannually and is a sports alternative to comic relief. Again, it's been running for quite a number of years. It does all sorts of work about supporting poor, disadvantaged people in the UK and around the world, and sets up programs to give new facilities and develop coaching and support for people to get involved in sport. So this would be about breaking down barriers, and it might be socio-economic barriers that they break down, like lack of money. Moving up here, we have Football for Hope. This is an initiative by FIFA, the world governing body, and it again aims to improve social development. And importantly for this one, improves public health in areas of deprivation, improve education, and end discrimination in areas where that is found. And an example would be Football for Hope centres being built across Africa. In terms of whether this is breaking down barriers or increasing promotion, I think you could probably argue it's both. So certainly by helping to increase education, it is breaking down barriers, being a lack of education being a barrier, but by helping to build facilities, it is also improving participation. Chance to Shine, this is definitely about improving participation. This is by the ECB, the English Cricket Board, and it is all about taking cricket into schools in deprived areas, sending in coaches and getting people or children to try cricket who would not have tried cricket before for free. And this is a great way of introducing them to the sport and promoting participation. It also has a role to do with developing social cohesion and also reducing youth crime by giving young children more sport to take part in, so they're not left on the streets, roaming around the streets, getting into trouble. And finally, creating chances. This is a scheme which has been working across the world to improve education, improve health, international initiatives, and so on. And again, this is about breaking down barriers. So you have got a number of initiatives here which you could use, but you could use any initiatives from any sport which you know about, and you might know some more. For example, the Rainbow Laces campaign, which is run by the FA, which you would have seen on the television recently, players wearing rainbow laces and the captains wearing rainbow armbands as a way of breaking down barriers and promoting equality amongst people of different sexual orientations. So there's another initiative which you could use as an example for breaking down barriers. Here's a question, two questions in fact. So the first one, name 4 sports initiatives. You might want to go and do some research on that, find some initiatives of your own, and then a value that is linked to the initiative, kick it out. Okay, pause the video and have a go at those questions. And here's the mark scheme. So make a note of some of those initiatives, because there's 15 of them there, and they'd be good ones to have to hand for the exam, I've got to be honest. And then in terms of the second one, make sure you've got one of these, and if not, correct your answers appropriately. Okay, thank you.